here in Canada, where today's practice session marks the start of this weekend's Canadian Grand Prix. It's always enjoyable coming to Montreal as it produces an exciting weekend's racing. High speeds and tough corners means there's always a chance of a driver losing their front wing, going off into the skate road, or even heading into the gravel.
Well, the Wall of Champions always seems to catch one or two drivers out because of how close they get to it as they arrive at such speed. We can probably expect to see someone end up there over the course of the weekend.
A few of the drivers have mentioned how important it will be to look after their rear tyres here. I know the Sauber and Toro Rosso guys are particularly worried about how they're going to manage that, as it's perhaps one of the areas they're still trying to get on top of.
Lots of low-speed exits means the rear are in for a lot of punishment. It's all too easy to spin them up coming out of a corner too aggressively. It might look great for us as spectators, as we love to see a car driven beyond the limits, but it's not going to result in a great long-run pace.
Practice times are not always indicative of qualifying or race day performance, but Nico Rosberg's Good afternoon, ready for an exciting qualifying session as the teams make their final preparations here in Canada. The Canadian Grand Prix have been dominated over the years by Ferrari, McLaren and Williams. They have over 30 wins between them, so I expect a good showing from all those teams here again today.
That's true, but Mercedes have such a strong package this year, it would surely be a mistake to rule them out of a chance of winning. However, Montreal is a very different type of circuit though, where you have to run the lowest downforce setting of the season so far. It's also extremely hard on brakes, so it's all to play for in today's session.
What a session it's been for Mercedes today. They've locked to the front of the grid for tomorrow's race.
It's a great session for the team. They've really been pushing hard to make this happen, and their hard work has been rewarded.
It's nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon and it's time to go racing here in Montreal. The Grand Prix de Canada was a firm favourite of Michael Schumacher, who won here a record 7 times. Many of our drivers today would be really happy just to win it once. It was a blistering time from Lewis Hamilton in qualifying yesterday. If he gets a clean start away from the grid today, he might be untouchable.
He was driving on another level yesterday, so it wouldn't be a surprise if he just pulls away from the field and is untouchable. But as we know, anything can happen in Formula One, so we'll just have to wait and see.
When you come to a team as a 4-time world champion, that comes with a large amount of expectation. So how do you think Sebastian Vettel has dealt with that pressure?
We should be on the grid. We want you to go in aggressive, take a few positions off the start, and be aware, keep safe. To have an extra 5 seconds ahead in race time, being given a 5-second penalty for causing collision. You've been given a 5-second penalty for failing to get that position back. Green flag, where is he again? Rosberg's really going for it. He's just put in the best of the race so far. Starting from man driver tyres, we're expecting to come into the pits within the next 5 laps. Hamilton has the lead. There's 2 more laps until the pit wheel. You'll be on the primes for the next stint. There's about a lap's worth of spare fuel in the car. You won't be able to run mix 3 for long with that much, but do burn it if you need to. Next, just 5 seconds separate you. In terms of fuel, we're now at about 75% of our starting load, 75% fuel remaining. If you continue to cut corners, the steward penalty. The man driver is losing a few tenths to you each lap. Has just taken the lead. starting to form on the tyres, so we need to cool them right away. Exit now. Strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Just made a move for first. Your brakes are at optimal temperature. Brakes at optimal temperature. Around 40% fuel now, so 60% remaining. will affect performance. Release, please. Stay clear of the white line on the exit. Receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track. Hamilton's in first place. We're not racing the car behind. Let past when you can. It looks we're down to 40% of our initial fuel load. That's 40% fuel remaining. You're losing time to Stevens, around a second per lap. We're not racing the car behind. Let them past when you can. We've moved up into P18. You need to slow down before hitting the corners. We don't want to get a penalty.
No doubt about the drive of the day today. It's Lewis Hamilton Mercedes